Right, so hey everyone and welcome back to another budget photography video. So mobile phone photography has gotten pretty damn good over the last few years. We've got phones with upwards of 64 to 108 megapixel sensors. They are on par with some dedicated, but will they ever overthrow professional cameras like DSLRs or mirrorless cameras? No, in short. But why don't we go back a few years to 2014 when this phone was released. The Nokia Lumia 535 from Microsoft. It's not very good. So what are the specifications of this? Well, you've got two cameras, both 5 megapixels front and rear, both able to take pictures, but the rear camera can shoot up to 720p video, but if I'm honest, it's not even very good and not really worth it, as these are probably showing. I mean, if I even right now, I can go into the camera and film some of this video on here, and you can see actually there's my setup. You're probably wondering actually, where's my microphone? Well, I'm wired in. I have a lavalier microphone there, so that's actually what you can see from this. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking at. There's no. So I don't really know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but you are stuck with one focal length. There is no zoom, there is no wide angle. You can't even digital zoom. You'd probably have to, I don't know, crop in post. The only good thing about the camera on this is the fact that it has kind of a gimmicky thing of manual control. Yeah, it's okay. You can change stuff like the white balance and the shutter speed, but you can't change the aperture, as unfortunately mobile phones even today have a fixed aperture, and that's usually between a 1 and a 2 and even a 3 in some cases. So you're not really going to be taking many pictures with this phone, to be fair. But I do like this phone. I had one of these, not this exact model. I had the 630 years and years and years ago, and I really liked it. Back when this phone had full support from Microsoft, and it had an app store and Instagram and stuff like that, and everything that we expect from a mobile phone, I loved it. I didn't even realize that at the time that this was basically a dark mode. I just always kept it like that, but now I kind of took that for granted, to be fair. But with me now, if you look at my actual phone, it's all in dark mode. I mean, Spotify's always in dark mode, but you get the picture. My phone is always in dark mode, so I kind of took it for granted when I used the Nokia Lumia, and it's actually really nice to hold. It's made from basically just one big sheet of plastic and some glass for the screen, and if you get a good one like I've got, this one in particular has definitely had its back and screen replaced in the last few months, because this one is in immaculate condition, bearing in mind that this phone came out in 2014. So even I'm surprised that it has lasted that long. Now, unfortunately, you only have 1 gigabyte of RAM with a Snapdragon 200 chip, and it's okay. You're not really going to be running many intensive games or anything on this device, so you'd probably actually be okay with 1 gigabyte of RAM. Now, internal storage, you've only got about 3 to 4 gigabytes free that you can actually use for pictures and stuff like that, so I would highly recommend getting a micro SD of about 32 to 64 gigabytes. Now, the one really good thing is the fact that it does have a headphone jack. Lots of phones in 2020 don't have a headphone jack. Now, there is one even bigger downside. It is using micro USB, and while yes, that is still quite a universal plug, I personally don't use it anymore. I have 2 basic leads that I carry with me, and that is USB-C and Lightning, because well, I use an iPad and I use a Huawei Android phone, so they're the 2 leads that I actually need to carry with me. Now, you are only getting 1900 milliamp hour battery cell, so battery performance isn't going to be very good, especially as this phone is about 5 or 6 years old. But the good thing about it is the fact that the back does come off, and the battery is, unlike many new phones, user replaceable. You've just got to pull the back off and boom, there's your battery. You can take it out and buy a new one. So, in summary, would I recommend the 535? No. Hell no. Unless you just want a phone to make, I don't know, text messages, maybe a phone call, then yeah, but other than that, I really wouldn't advise it. Anyway guys, thanks for joining me in this video, and I'll see you in the next one.